All right, this fall, the Netflix show Love is Blind will release its 11th season featuring couples looking for love in the Boston area. Just last season, it was Ohioans who were putting looks aside to try and find love. One of them joining us live here this morning. Ashley Carpenter was on last season of Love is Blind, streaming right now on Netflix. Ashley, is it safe to say that you went on with the best of intentions, Love is Blind, and then you ended up getting blindsided a little bit by all of it?
That's a really good way to put it, actually. Yeah, I went on, and my dad's actually a divorce attorney.
Okay.
So I was like, there's no chance. I'm like getting married in 2 weeks.
Right.
And then you start going through the process, and you start asking questions, having these deep conversations with men, and it's like, wait, is this working?
Right.
So I was very open to it. I was open to finding love, finding friends, finding something inside me. So yeah, I was open to it.
That's great. All right. Well, we'll get into all this here. We don't want to get into too much, though, because we want to give viewers a little taste of how your journey came to a close on Love is Blind.
I know your answer, and it doesn't matter to me. I know you don't choose me, and I'm not choosing you either.
Wow. All right, that was sort of the bombshell moment of the show. I think every person who saw that kind of stand up and cheered for you. What made you feel like that it was the right time and to come out as much as you did in that moment?
Yeah, I think part of me, it was in my past. So I came from a pretty toxic relationship in my past, and I always stayed quiet. I never shared my feelings, my opinions, and that's just how it was. And I saw the same kind of pattern in Alex. Yeah. And I was like, no, this is my time to stand up for myself. And I think he needed to hear some things, and so I gave it to him.
How did it make you feel watching it back afterwards? Obviously, you lived it in real time, then you go through the wait, the edits, and everything like that. How did it make you feel after watching it?
I think it portrayed like my message and who I am very well. I do wish, like, you know, some of the things about my family, and I'm very career oriented. I wish those things were shown a little bit more. But I think for the most part, it showed who I am as a person and what's important to me. Yeah. So that's really what mattered to me, to make my family proud and just be myself. Yeah,
I feel like reality TV is such a unique experience. What do you feel like you learned about yourself through that process?
Yeah, I would say it was definitely a confidence boost. I went in with like this mindset, like, oh my God, is anyone gonna like me? No one's gonna wanna be my friend. No boys are gonna wanna date me. And I come out and I'm like, no, I know my worth. Yeah. I know my standards.
That's great.
I set boundaries and I'm sticking to them.
Yeah, and I think your story is one that maybe not necessarily as public, right? But I think it's one that a lot of people can relate to. They feel like their partner's not necessarily in the relationship for the right reasons. What's your message to those people out there who might be going through that?
Yeah, I would say just stand up for what you believe you deserve. I stayed in a relationship far too long, waiting for a guy to become the man I deserve, and it's not worth it. You should be happy on your own, and you know, someone should come in and make you better and happier, not make you happy, period.
Yeah. That's great advice. All right, let's go back to the beginning now. We kind of started with the end. Let's go back to the beginning. What made you want to go on reality TV? We were kind of just talking about it a little bit there.
Yeah, it was mostly my friends bullying me into it. You know. I had gotten out of a relationship, and it was kind of just the stars aligning. They were casting for Ohio. My friends were like, you have to apply. And I looked at the application and I was like, no, that's a lot of extra work. Yeah. So then they started reaching out to me on Instagram, and I took it as a sign. I was like, all these positive things were happening to me, so I was like, let's give it a shot. And I did, and it was interview after interview, and I was like, I'm getting kind of far. Like, and then I got the call that I was going, and I was like, oh my God, I got to tell my dad now. So right. It was kind of crazy.
What was your family's reaction?
Oh, they were so excited. I was so nervous to tell them, and I didn't want to tell them until it was official. Yeah. Didn't want them to worry. And I told my dad, he was so excited. He was like, that's amazing. And you know, he always says like the most important thing that he ever taught us was how to make a decision. Yeah. And so he's like, I know you weighed the pros and cons, and you made the decision that you think is right for you.
That's great. I know I was watching some refresher of the TikToks last night, and people were loving your dad. That scene where you kind of told Alex off, and he walked you back down the aisle after leaving you at the altar there. In terms of reality TV, you experienced it. and then you watched it back afterwards. How much of the reality did you feel like was reality? You said you felt like there were a lot of things that they kind of left out about you.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just editing and time.
Sure.
You know, we don't have time to tell everybody's
Oh, we
full
understand
story.
that for sure.
Yeah, so I think it was portrayed very well. Like I've told you in the past, I wish they would have shown like how important my family is. You get a little taste of it, especially at the wedding and at the dinner, but family is everything to me and my friends are everything to me, so I wish they would have shown that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But everything else is pretty spot on.
Okay, all right, well, that's good to know. I think
Yeah.
for a lot of Love is Blind
Yeah.
fans to know that, you know, what you're seeing on the show is actually, they're not trying to snip it and
Absolutely.
put things around. Would you recommend going on a dating show for other people?
I would say go on a dating show if your intentions are pure. If you are healed, like I said, I went through a pretty traumatic breakup, and you know, I thought I was healed and everything, and I catch myself going back to old patterns a little bit, watching it back. But I would say, yeah, go for it. It's great. You meet amazing people, you have amazing opportunities, and you might find the love of your life.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, well, you're from Ohio.
From Ohio.
How is the dating scene here in Ohio?
I don't know. I mean, good, I guess. I think it's just all relative. You know, there's good eggs and bad eggs everywhere you're going to
For
go.
sure.
So it's just about weeding out the ones that, I don't know, you get the ick for, as,
Yeah.
as the kids say, or, you know, again, knowing your standards,
Yeah.
knowing what you're looking for, being ready for it.
Fantastic. And one last one, how's life changed for you?
Oh, it's crazy. Well, first of all, my dad's, you know, he's loving every second of
I'm
this, all of his
sure.
golf buddies, you know. But it's just been a whirlwind. Like I said, I've met amazing people. I love connecting with people. I love sharing, you know, similar stories with women, men, whoever. But it's been crazy. It's been fun and life-changing.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations. It's great to see your success, career sort of take off now after the show, and there definitely is love out there.
Yes.
And I think that you spoke to that. There's somebody for everybody. So, Ashley, thank you so much for
Of
joining
course.
us.
Thank you for having me.